How we doing today? Great. Oh, action shot. You getting all this, Arnold? It's my good side. I'm very excited to be serving as your Master of Ceremonies. As you heard in my bio, I don't do that. I'm kind of like, I figured it out over the weekend, I'm kind of like Jerry Lewis. You don't see me all year, then one weekend out of the year I show up and I host a little program. In this case, it's a 12-hour marathon. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to hear what I have to say. Now you guys in the back, can you hear me? You guys hear me back okay? Let's see, oh, there's Tim. Hi, Tim. I asked that question last year, and the people in the back said no, and the people in the front got up and went to the back. So I hope it goes better this year. Mike Pharisee, CADA chair, hats off to him. I served as the chief volunteer officer for an association, and Tim Jackson was the chief executive officer. It was a 12-month term, and it was quite possibly the longest decade of my life. When you work next to Tim, you feel like a one-legged mouse with polio dragging a piano across the Rocky Mountains. I mean, you are moving at a whole different pace. And back then I had hair, and I like that part. I wanted to let you know that Tim does a fabulous job, and I've been honored to work with him for the last 13 years. Nobody takes better care of association members. Nobody does a better job of taking care of bringing value to a meeting like this. And I know what you're thinking. You're sitting out there, and you've looked up here, you've had a minute to take all this in, and you're thinking, hey, Tim just got him because he's a pretty face. He's a big hunk of man candy. Okay, that's not what you were thinking. What you're really thinking is, if Democratic strategist James Carville and Barney Fife could somehow have a child, it would look exactly like this. Yes, I'm fully aware that I look like a guy whose nickname is Snakehead. But I'm dealing with it. I hope you can too for the next few hours. We got some special guests in the room. We have with us Jeff Carlson, NADA Director. Appreciate Jeff being here. Jeff. We also have with us Don Hicks. Don Hicks is a NADA Director. Don, appreciate it. Don was practicing his parade wave before the event. Nicely done, Don. Very well. The housekeeping. I know we're all busy folks. If we could set our cell phones to stun, or at least vibrate, that would be helpful. I know if you need to take a call, that would be a wonderful thing to step outside and do that. And also, if you need to use the restroom, just raise your hand, and then I may or may not call upon you. Or you could just sneak out the back and head over to your right, and you'll find them down at the end of the hall. And I know you're asking yourself, why are you here? I work with a group of dealers in Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky. So the first thing you're wondering is, will this flatlander at this altitude make it for the next 12 hours? The other thing that allows me to do is I get some perspective from rural folks. And I've noticed that with my dealers right now, they don't have time to come to a meeting like this. If you think about it, most of my guys they're still running with lean management teams. They're still running with lean employee teams. They've been hesitant to add people. Business is ticking up a little bit, but they've been hesitant to bring people on because they don't know what the future holds in the near term. They're selling, most of my guys are selling fewer vehicles, but they're making a lot more money. The grosses are good, and some of them are having very profitable years this year. But they're fundamentally unsure what the future holds. And so they're hesitant to make long-term decisions. I've got guys who they won't sign a 1-month contract, much less a 6-month contract right now, because they're not sure what direction to move strategically. And if that sounds similar to your situation, then you can't afford not to be here. It's the dealers, I firmly believe, that take advantage of the peer networking, that take advantage of association memberships, that take advantage of these learning opportunities that will succeed in the future. I believe it's been said that it's not the most intelligent nor the strongest of species that survive, but it's the ones most able to change. And that's what's going to be required here in the future. Last time I was here, I brought you some PowerPoint slides to kind of show you where we were at as far as the industry goes. And it was interesting. I sat down before I came to this meeting, and I was here in August, a year and a month ago, and I took a look at those slides, and it was amazing how much innovation, how much change has taken place when you look at that. So if you take a look back at last year this time, the main slide was this one. It was Carmageddon. It was quite amazing. The media was predicting the death of all car sales. Everybody was going to have to sell motor scooters and bicycles, and it was the end of the world. And lucky for us, Carmageddon was canceled. Don't know if you got the memo, but it's over. We're all back to selling cars, and we're having a good time again. Tim had just become a grandpa. Congratulations, Tim. What we find out now, a year later, Tim has had a tremendous influence on the youngster. He's now texting and driving at the same time. It's amazing what a grandpa can do. Last year it was wind down. This year it's wind up. A lot of dealers got put back. A lot of people back on their feet again. Last year at this time we were doing Toyota throttle gates. A lot of blue-haired ladies with unintended acceleration. A year later, the NHTSA can find no ghost in the machine. It seems to have evaporated. Last year, GM was going down. This year, GM's making money. A year ago, Toyota losses. Today, Toyota profits. Difference a year can make. And we also we have to say goodbye to some folks. We bid farewell in the last year to Pontiac. We bid farewell to our favorite television show. I was really glad this one got canceled. Did you notice every time this show was on, sales went down? And when it was off, and then there was a reoccurring character in the background. It was Tim. He was gumping it. They made the show more interesting. Here's something that we lost. Where'd this go? Corn-based ethanol? Who knew turning our food supply into fuel was a bad idea? And then, of course, we're all going to miss sodium silicates. What were you doing this time last year? You had a field full of cars, and you were committing clunkercide. It was Otto Kevorkian. Glad those days are behind us. The sport track, it's going away this year. A lot of you don't know, Tim Jackson used to have a sport track. That's his sport track. That's the Buick he hit. And what is Tim doing at this point in time? Notice that emergency medical services have not even shown up. Tim has already made 7 phone calls, none of them to 9/11. He called the local chamber of commerce, 2 business owners, and